Hello, everyone. After a long hiatus, I'm back again. I decided to take a little bit of time off for the holidays, and then just kind of playing some other games, doing some other stuff. Being bored, playing Dota. I looked back at my last video that I put up, and I was like, yeah, I should really get back in. And oh, I got back in. I got back in. Do not worry about that. Um, so sorry for kind of the length between updates going on here, but I'm back. And we're getting to the interesting parts of the game now, because I did my farming. As you might have caught when I kind of tabbed through it real quick like, I have the Avalon now, and I have it as a +5 Lightning Avalon. And I was able to get it to +5 because I was super lucky in my farming of Dark Wraiths, and I managed to grab a slab. So I can get the +5 of that, and then after we either go to the DLC world, which I'm still hemming and hawing because the bosses there are brutal of if I want to actually do it, but I think I probably should. We should be thorough. But we can also take out the Stray Demon over in the Asylum. And I got the blue slab over there, which I'm going to put at the start of the video, accompanied by something humorous or some kind of music I like. We'll see what that is. And yeah, today we're going for the throne. We're going straight for Seath. If all goes well, I should be able to take out Seath with minimal effort. So this bridge, it's pretty much straightforward. As long as you keep this one in sight, you don't have to worry about falling off. Nothing too bad. There's a soul item up on the left here, and I don't think it aggroes the butterfly, but it might. So just kind of be careful with it. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So yeah, Soul of a Hero. Might get a chance to use that later. No, it doesn't aggro the butterfly. Those butterflies also do have a very small chance of dropping a slab. So if you do want to build a +10 magic weapon and a +5 enchanted weapon, is that how the tree goes? Then you want to take it out. Alright, these guys. These guys are jerks. The reason that these guys are jerks is because, and I'm going to switch over to fire. I don't remember what their weakness is. But they're jerks because if you do not take them out here, they can enter the boss arena, and that's only on the first time that you fight Seath. So you actually do have to take them out the first time you come in here. It's not, they're not the worst, and it does also have the advantage. And I mentioned that I would mention this before. How's that for redundancy? These guys do also have a chance to drop Purging Stones, along with Twinkling Titanite. So this is a good place to equip the Gold Serpent Ring that we had picked up earlier to farm out those items. Now I forget. I think if you're great at the game, you will aggro 2 right here. Key is just very small movements forward. One of these guys, not too bad. 2 of these guys, absolute nightmare. So not going to do that. I'm just going to pull them one at a time back here, bait out an attack. I like their little head swingy one. That'd be a good one for bait. But yeah, that one. And it either comes in a 1 or a 2-pack, so just be warned of that. Then with this sweet Zwei, which let me just double check. Yeah, it's at 4, so it's going to be doing a lot of damage. Hey, there we go. Proof of concept. Yeah, with this Vi, I can 2-hit them, so it's not too bad, and I actually get a nice little wombo combo off on them. So, I mean, they're not the worst thing in the world to be fighting, basically, right now. That's what I'm getting at. Alright, but it's still, I was like, I haven't played Dark Souls in like 3 months. This is going to end poorly. I'm going to record my just getting refreshed on it and put it up on the internet so everyone can see how bad I am at the game. Alright, so that guy's pulling. They do kind of wake up a bit, so at least you can tell. In subsequent runs, you can just run past them and it doesn't even matter. So that's what I'm going to be doing if I lose to Seath, which hopefully I'll show my MLG Pro skills and be able to no-scope him with the Avalon. So yeah, I did a lot of grinding. I think that my shield is as far as it'll go right now, without another slab to bump into it. This run has potential now for 3 slabs, so I can upgrade the Avalon, the Claymore, or the Zweihänder, and the Shield, all in the same run, which is incredibly fortunate. I don't think the Shield scales very well into the plus 15. Like, you're not getting a lot of benefit out of taking it from 14 to 15, but it's not like I'm doing anything with it. It's so hard for me not to get attached to money and items in this game. Like, oh, that Titanite slab's super rare. I wouldn't want to waste it. And, like, the plus 2 stability, like, it may not be great. I don't even know if it is plus 2. It might be plus 0. You might just get more physical damage out of the shield if you're using it as a on-handy weapon. Something like that. So switch back to the Avalon. I don't have any magics, but I'm just going to be using this. Nope, there goes the train of thought. Oh, yeah. So upgrading the shield, like, it may just be an extra point or 2, and it may not be the best, but I know for a fact that I'm using this shield for the rest of the run. So that extra 1% is better than letting the item sit in my inventory. You know? And I have that problem a lot with soul items where I just refuse to spend them, because I'm like, but it's so many. Like, what if I need it later to get a level, or, you know, it's like, just screw it. If you want a level now, do it. If you want to stock up on Homeward Bones at some point, go for it. So, let's fight against Seath. First thing that you need to do, run back here, and you can actually trick him into hitting this crystal himself, so you do not have to do it. That also lets you get a good shot at his tail, but it's... Alright, let's see if we can do this. Nope. Does not look like it took. Oh, and I'm gonna... Yeah, it didn't. Okay. So... I suppose I really should... Oh, shoot. What I really should be doing, after I do this, is subbing out my rings. I'm not going to need ninja flips. I will need curse resistance. So, yeah. See how much curse resistance that gives you? Totally worth it. In this fight, you are not going to die from physical damage as long as you are at any kind of distance. So, with that, I mean, like, that's the bulk of it. Now we're just going to be taking pot shots. And I've got more of these, and the damage actually looked like it was less using whatever bolts those were. So let's just stick with what we got. We got to hold on to what we got. And, you know, it doesn't make a difference if we make it or not, because we got each other. And that's enough for love. We'll give it a shot. Alright, so let's see. This is that one. Wow. This has a substantially longer range than I would have thought. Oh yeah, not sure if I mentioned it. I think I did, but just to err on the side of caution here. Seath kills my frame rate. He absolutely dominates it, and that's because each of those crystals, I guess, must be like rendered separately or something. I don't know the computer science behind it all, but it's just murder on my processor, so you'll see it dip a lot, and I do apologize for that. But yeah, like right there, it is getting bad while I'm capturing. This game, it's a shame too, because this game, and especially this fight, it's kind of a pretty arena. I mean, it uses actual color, unlike some other games that will not be mentioned. But I mean, like, look how safe this is. I'm not even sure. Oh god, that frame rate. I'm not even sure if he has yet to damage me, and if he has, it has been all chip. And it actually looks like he takes his time to rotate before each attack a little bit. Okay, yeah. So there's tiny little bits of chip damage. Not too concerned with it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm loving that. That is gross. I'm so sorry for that. It's just this boss, too. And I mean, I'm playing it on... I wouldn't call it a great rig. It can run this game. It doesn't run it at a consistent 60 throughout. It runs it... Oh, okay. So that attack, actually, if you get hit by the beam for it, as you can see, it takes a lot of damage out. So direct hits, try to avoid, but otherwise should be good. But yeah, I mean, this plays at a pretty much, maybe like 45s on my computer, so it's not bad. But you throw in capturing, and then you throw in whatever it is that his crystals have to do, and it becomes a little bit painful. But this is all just about positioning. There's not a lot that you can really do to bait out his attacks. He just kind of does what he wants to do. If you do wind up getting too close to him, he does a rather large AoE blast, which is probably the thing that will curse you the most. It expands in all directions from him, so it's kind of difficult to dodge. You basically, as soon as you see him charging it, you have to run. But besides that, he's got nothing. So there we go. We ended with a bowing of arrows. And let's break this dude. Yay, our first Lord Soul. Said let's break this dude. There we go. And humanity, and a bonfire, which I guess means we don't need bones. And 60,000 souls. And how was I building this character? Oh man, have I forgotten. So let's see. I imagine vitality and endurance are the two big things. I guess I'll just split the difference there. We'll see what that does for me. I know that 40, I don't know if I've mentioned this before. Oops, do want to warp there. 40 is more or less the breaking point for the diminishing returns on stats. You can go higher, but as soon as you hit 40, it's pretty much not worth it to spend the souls on it. You're better off spending it somewhere else. You can only be getting 20 health or so for it. Alright, so with that down, just going to check something quick here. So yeah, with that down, we're going to switch over to a different boss, and we're going to go for the dude in the Asylum, the Stray Demon. Quality of commentary diminishing, and yeah, he could be a bit of a pain. The Dark Woodgrain Ring definitely helps against him and the other two bosses like him. Well, I guess the other boss like him. You fight 3 in total throughout the game, assuming that you take on this optional one. And it's all pretty much mobility is key. So we're just going to rely on that a bit. And I'm going to take a swig of quality beer. Actually, I'm not saying quality ironically either. It is pretty good beer. Alright. These guys, I don't want to Avalon them, and I don't feel like going through the effort of switching my weapon, so it's Zweihander time. And let's see, I don't think that I've kindled the bonfire down there, so it could get a little bit interesting. I mean, maybe I just want to. I can't be invaded in here, and it would be worth it to have the 10 in this fight. Now, I think I've mentioned it before, but I'm definitely of the impression that you should heal when you need to heal, because if you lose a fight in this game by a single Estus, you are depriving yourself the satisfaction of actually winning the fight. That being said, 9 is a world of difference from 5. I think I'd really actually prefer to use this Vi against this guy, but that kind of violates the spirit of the challenge. So we're going to drop in with our handy-dandy bow, take him out. Alright, first thing you need to do, pretty much roll, and those, as you can see there, they have a large area of effect, but it's not entirely impossible to get out of the range of it. Now here, I think I'm going to fail at that. Oh, actually, okay. So here, I've got him where I want him, so that I am behind him. That does have a small splashback, where if you are directly behind him, you can still get hit by it. But from here, again, name of the game is positioning. So we're just going to try and keep him centered in the room as much as humanly possible, and keep ourselves behind him or in a position where we can get behind him easily. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. You know, it's interesting. Now I get to wax philosophical a bit, and that sucked. I wasn't in a position to get behind him. Alright, so, yeah, it's interesting because, kind of applying... Oh, this is gonna suck! Yeah, it did. God, it's been so long since I've actually played this game. So in Dota, one of the biggest things is positioning as well. where it's like you want to have yourself in a position where you're have the best opportunity to capitalize on your skill sets and your weapons and your hero, and if you're easily killed, then you want to be out of the way of any of the dangerous action. Oh god, how do you fight this guy? I have completely forgotten. I think that the key is to run instead of locking on. Let's give that a whirl. Yeah, and it's just funny because I've been coming from that background for quite some time now. I think that I've actually managed to spend longer on Dota on PC than I have Dark Souls, but Dark Souls definitely still wins out in the long run. But yeah, the same kind of things definitely apply in this game as well, where it's a lot of the game isn't actually how you're fighting, it's where you're fighting. So, kind of interesting to come back and see that. Yeah, running is definitely working out in my favor. Especially because I believe that encumbrance also affects your run speed, so able to be quite mobile and put multiple thorns in his side, or possibly right up his crack, one of the two. So let's see, if I were on 5 Estus, it would have taken me down to 1 to figure out to run around him. I am not a clever man. This should be probably 2 attacks that I can get off. Yeah. Definitely my favorite fight against this guy was... Oh, actually, that might have not gotten published. When I did my big damage run, which you can probably still see on my channel. It's just going to be in, like, 360p and, like, double compressed because I didn't know what I was doing back then. So it looked terrible. But, yeah, it was the Demon's Great Axe... plus, this should be it for this guy, the Demon's Great Axe plus Power Within plus Greater Magic Weapon, and I eventually got that to Crystal Magic Weapon for the record. And yeah, that guy was like 4 hits. It was fantastic. There we go, there's that. I don't have, what is it? Yeah, you have to look cool. It's not enough to kill the bosses, you have to look cool after you do it, or else it doesn't count. That's how this game rolls. Alright. So, with that out of the way, I just have to remember where the ladder is in this room. Over there. Find torches, find ladder. Alright. Now, let's see. Which Lord Soul would be the next best one to go after? There's not anything over there, because I've already done Painted World. Did I do Painted World already? Ooh. That's an interesting question, me. Yeah, which boss should we do next? There is the Grave Lord, which is always entertaining. And by entertaining, I mean horrifying, and I don't want to. Let's reinforce our weapon, get that up to +5, because we can. Bam. And then, actually, do we have magic bow? Oh, looks like right now I don't. Maybe I put it away, or maybe I just had plans to do that later. I'll look that up when people aren't watching me. So let's see. There's the 4 kings. Oh, there's Sif. We still have to worry about Sif. So let's get over to... I think Firelink is going to be the next closest one for that. More beer! So yeah, this is basically just going to be probably a boss rush to the end of the game. Well, I haven't set up, what's his name? Nido. I have set up the 4 kings, and that's a fight that worries me. That is going to be fun to try and out DPS them. But there's the 4 kings, Nido, Seath, oh, and the Beta Chaos in that whole area. That's how I feel about that. And did I take out Ceaseless? Oh gosh, I just do not remember how far I made it into this run, and I do apologize for that. Yeah, I got a decent ways into Monster Hunter at my parents' place, which is a really fun game. And then I was like, oh hey look, a PC. Got way back into Dota. I beat the entire Saints Row franchise. That was a thing. And then there's something after that too. So yeah, a lot of games that weren't Dark Souls, so excuse my being a little bit rusty, if you will. Rusty and forgetful. Yeah, I'm okay with putting it into the Zwei over the shield right now, because I'll get more use out of it. So yeah. Played something else on the Wii U. The new Zelda. Well, not new, but the new old Zelda. It's fun. Wii U's a good console. It was a lot of fun when I was at home at my parents' house. Very mobile, full of goodness. Alright, so let's see. Sif. Actually, it might have been faster to go through New Londo and then come up through the Valley of the Drakes. It's actually a shortcut that I rather enjoy doing just for sequence breaking. Oof. I don't know, it feels like I'm only doing 500 with this. Feels like it should be doing more, but that's just my bias. So let's see, you do have to go past the Hydra. Oh, which means I've already missed my exit, so to speak. Please forgive me. I've forgotten how to game. And I do still have the wood grain ring equipped, which is good. That's what I need. I'm just going to spaz out on a rock for a bit, because it seemed like fun. Yeah, and I abused the Steam sale. I absolutely abused it this year, so got a lot to clear out. There might be some games in there to look forward to. I might even record some of them and put them out on the channel. I don't know. We'll see. I need to actually start promoting my work, so that way more than like 3 people watch it. Hi, 3 people who watch it! I love you! You're my adoring fan base. Or something. And, yeah. It's a lot of running. Good cardio. And let's see, this would be kind of awkward if I hadn't taken out the Hydra already, which I believe that I have. And because I did, that means... Let's see. I don't think that I took out the Golden Golem, so I might go ahead and do that now as well, because that probably would have been something that I didn't do because I'm like, it was a few saves ago. Why to bother? So let's go ahead and try and find him. See if we did. I don't know then if I also took out the Golem in... Well, I could just check my inventory. Got that going for me. So... Got... a lot of keys, but I don't think I have the thing. So let's see. Nope, haven't taken him out. Okay, so this Golem contains Dusk, our prisoner, and he also is part of the secret to getting to the DLC. Which, I don't know. I like that the DLC was incorporated into the world, but I also feel that... I should have bought more bolts. That would have been smart. I like that it was incorporated into the world. I don't even have to kill this guy with a bow. It's just easier. But it's also really hard to find if you don't know what you're looking for. Totally. Alright. Yeah, it's hard to find. It's inconvenient, out of the way. So, I don't know. I like... Oh yeah, and I played through Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, which is fantastic. I play it at an incredibly low level compared to some of the people out there, so I wouldn't dare show myself actually playing it. But it was a really fun game. It had some of the best bosses of this generation as far as design goes, because they actually test your skills as a player and provide occasionally new scenarios, but for the most part, it's like a test at the end of the level. It's your final exam to progress to the next level of the game. And so you have to have certain skills in order to beat them, which makes it really cool and fun and entertaining. But all of the DLC for that was just in a menu. You just said, hey, I want to play this DLC, and it's like, here you go. It's nice. And I guess, looking at Skyrim, I guess it kind of did the same thing. Where it was built into the world, you had to go a little bit out of your way for it, but they pretty much just thrust that stuff on you. It's like you buy the DLC for vampires, and all of a sudden all the guards are like, holy crap, vampires! What are you doing? So, there is that. Alright, and I always forget. I think it's over this way. I could be mistaken. Ooh, I should do that to pick up the last large ember. And I remember that I cleared out the kitty cats. Nope, lost train of thought. Oh yeah, I always forget which way Sif is. But I believe that he's over here. Yeah. Because this is a boss run that I have grown quite used to making the run back to. Oh man, did I hit a good bonfire for this? I don't think I did. I think my last one is in front of Andre. So, this could be a pain if I don't live. Well, and I'm only at 4 Estus. Oh boy. But that's okay. I remember his animations. I mean, there's a difference between... So basically, he's going to have 2 attacks worth looking out for, a swing to the left and a swing to the right. And I believe when it swings to the player's left, that indicates he's going to do 2 circles. When it swings to the player's right, that indicates a 3-hit combo. And I believe that it's a little bit more complicated than that, but those are the fundamentals. If he swings to his left, you can get a roll in to attack his ankles, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to be backing up. When he swings to the right, like that, we're just going to be keeping our guard up. And that overhead attack is actually going to be a pain. So yeah, there is 1, 2, and then I think he has an optional overhead after that. But I'm not sure if he'll actually do that once we get this far back. I think he has the AI not to. So like I said, he swung to our left, so that means he's going to do that swing around, which we have terrible aiming on. But it looks like he has a fairly decent recovery after that, so it's not going to be a problem. There's the optional third, like I was talking about. And then he can run right up and do that. But, man, this fight at range, it just does not seem like it's going to present too many complications, especially if he starts to limp once we get him down to that point. But swing to the right says our 3-hit or 1-hit, which could be a bit dangerous, so it's good to know we can kind of cancel out of that a bit. And you want to stay within lock-on, but other than that, doesn't make much of a difference, the positioning. And nope, he's not going for 2, so we don't get an attack opportunity there. And I don't know if I mentioned this, I don't know if it needs mentioning, but when you're blocking, your stamina regenerates at a slower rate than when you are not blocking. So you pretty much only want to block when you see that you're going to get hit. Or when there's a possibility of you being hit. If you let your guard down, it regenerates faster. So it's... For newer players, it's worth it to keep your shield up as much as you feel safe doing. But for the more advanced folk like myself, the general strategy is to only have your shield up when there is immediate danger present. So the Lightning Avalon is making short work of this fight. Well, maybe not short work, but I'm not feeling too threatened here, all things considered. And I'm going to give that a little bit of a wait. Yeah, there we go. Oh no, still only hit him once. I don't think that he has any like special armor or anything, but maybe he does. There we go. That time all 3 got him. So yeah, don't really know what to say here. This fight is it's challenging if you're trying to stay up close to him, because finding those opportunities to attack is rather difficult. But if you have a ranged item like this, as long as you know his attacks, that's a flawless victory. And I am also incredibly sorry, because he's a puppy. So there we go, Covenant of Artorias. And that is going to give us access to fighting the 4 kings, which is still going to suck. Actually, I'm going to go back, re-equip these Homeward Bones, and bone out to my BFF Andre. Alright, got another chance for some more levels here. Yeah, I'll go like that. And I forget what bolts I'm currently using, which is probably worth researching. So I've got wood and heavy. So I'll restock on all the woods and then spend the rest on heavy. And that should be good. Don't think I need any of that. Oops, I accidentally canceled out because I'm used to OK being the default option. Don't know why it wouldn't be. And yeah, this thing is absolutely just chewing through bolts. Every shot costs 30 souls. So I better kill something worth 30 souls with it. But, alright. I think that went pretty well. We've got 3 bosses taken care of today. So I think I'm just going to warp on back to Firelink. And check my stash, do some other things. So I will see you guys next time.